Okay, folks, I'd like to welcome you to another post-game conversations where you get to hear directly from Tribe football alums, coaches, and supporters. For this episode, we have none other than Alan Goode. How you doing, Mr. Goode?
Doing well. Thank you very much, Dante.
And
Thanks for having
so it's great to have you on. We've had some really good conversations just leading up and prepping for this. It's an awesome opportunity to meet you. I know we've been trying to schedule this for a long time. So just happy to finally be able to do this session.
well, good. Yeah,
Um,
too. I am too.
oh yeah. So let's get right into it. Tell me about what year you graduate, what position you played, and what was your major at William and Mary?
Graduated in 1978. Played offensive guard and offensive tackle. Like a week of tight end, but it was too much running. And I majored in kinesiology.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So when we talked, you had a really interesting build up to William and Mary, right? Some of our, our stories on the way to William and Mary, they vary. But you came from segregated high school into William and Mary. So talk to us a little bit about that experience.
Yeah, it was 1972 maybe. I was in the ninth grade at Crestwood High School in Chesapeake, and then they changed it to a junior high and shipped me to Great Bridge High School in Chesapeake. Um, it was kind of like Return of the Titans. You walk in, and the first day was, really hectic. A couple of mishaps happened, and but it turned out to be a good thing for me.
That's great,
They adapted, we adapted,
as we
and
all do.
yeah, and now we're here today.
Now, how did you end up choosing William and Mary? I know you had other options. How did you end up choosing William and Mary?
uh, Basically because I had a bunch of classmates, across my high school going there that I knew. I had some that were already there from a couple of years before that I knew, and Rolf and I were, planning to go there and be roommates. So that's how it happened. It was easy. I thought it was far away from home, but it really wasn't.
No, speaking from a guy that came from Maryland, no, you like right
Yeah,
up the street. Yeah.
exactly. It was unbelievable. Although
Oh,
at
yeah.
points I couldn't get home because I didn't have the dollar and a quarter to make it through the bridge tunnel.
You know you're better for that now. So okay, so you went through that. You chose William and Mary. You roomed with Rolf Carowin, who we did an interview with last month. So tell us about your experience at William and Mary, playing offensive guard, tackle, and a little bit of tight end.
um, we had freshman football, so I had a good time doing that. We didn't have that many games. We got to go to the varsity games, uh, which was pretty exciting. It was, I don't know, it was different, bigger than high school, but not like gargantuan. But no one had gargantuan stadiums back then, really.
Right.
Just a few teams, and I got to play against excellent competition. Back then VMI was a strong program. Um, Richmond, and then they shipped us out to other schools to get murdered and get paid.
That never changed. Yeah.
Then you get to see where you really stand.
You
You can
do.
you can gain some respect from those guys.
You do. Yeah, you
Yeah,
do. Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
They know.
Yeah, everybody knows, but it's a great
Yeah,
experience. So, I don't think any of us would trade it for the world.
right, exactly.
Yeah.
I loved it. I played against Heisman Trophy winners and everything.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah. See, that's something you'll never forget.
right. Yeah, yeah.
Um, So you had a great time. You had a great career at William and Mary. Talk to us about your journey from, hey, graduating from William and Mary to where you are today.
Well, you know, I wasn't real sure of what to do when I graduated. Um, I took a job in Baltimore as a restaurant manager, and the city just beat me up. I couldn't control the ins and outs. Williamsburg shuts down at 11:30. 2 o'clock, everything is done. Doesn't
Right.
happen like Baltimore. You
Not
can,
quite.
yeah, you can find and do whatever you want to.
Yeah.
So, uh, ended up coming home and then coming back to Williamsburg. And I lived with an old teammate, Scott Hayes. He had a house out on Jamestown Road, and paid him rent for a couple of years, and I saved up and got my own house and did the same thing.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah. And then I just kept moving from house to house and renting it behind me.
That's awesome. The real estate empire, building your empire.
Yeah, I'm the virtual slumlord, I guess.
So then how'd you end up in Richmond?
My wife had a job up here working in at a law firm, and she was commuting, and I wasn't really, I was waiting tables at Colonial Williamsburg. She said, you can do whatever you want to do up here, maybe go back to school. So we moved up, got a nice little house, and had 2 kids by then. And I went back to school, went to respiratory school, and I was probably 40 then, 96. Yeah. Okay. 96 graduated. So then I did that for 20 years. And we've been collecting houses ever since. And moving to Richmond, we moved to Richmond in 92, and it was, it was way rougher than it is now.
Right.
VCU hadn't started buying up the downtown. There were great swaths of uninhabited houses that you could get for $10,000 or $15,000.
Wow.
Yeah. So we did that, and get a house for 15, put 40 in it, sell it for 100.
Wow. Wow. So where are you with your empire today?
We started phasing out, so we cut down. We've only got I think it's 7. Got 4 in Williamsburg, 2 up here, and 1 in Raleigh.
Okay. Okay. And that's your grandmother's house, right?
Correct. Right.
Yeah. It's a good story.
It's on like 1.5 acres. It used to be way out of town, but now it's like in between 40 and 540.
Wow.
It's coming.
Yeah. And you holding on to it. Yeah.
Yep. And it's paying for itself. It's all good.
Hey, it doesn't get any better than that.
Exactly.
Okay, before we round it out, this has been awesome. Is there anything you want to leave with folks, especially folks graduating or newly to the working world out of William and Mary football?
Yeah, there's all sorts of things you can do. Opportunities are going to come your way. The best thing I can tell you to do is start saving money for your retirement after you get every check. Just take money out, put it somewhere. Designate it as your IRA.
Yeah.
And let it roll.
Yeah.
The more consistent you are, the better it'll be.
Absolutely.
And it only takes about 20 years. I didn't know that until I started.
Well, when I graduated, 20 years seemed like 100 years, but now now it's like 20 years for me, and it's like it felt like it was nothing. So that's it's awesome advice. But I just remember at that time it just being so hard to visualize 20 years.
Yeah. When you get, I'm out 40, maybe 50 years now, 78.
Yeah.
5 years, whatever it is.
Just a few years. Yeah.
Can't do the math, but I never thought. This is was not in the plan. I don't know what
Yeah.
the plan was, but this isn't it.
Well, somebody had a plan. Yeah, I get
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
no
Oh
doubt.
man. Yeah. Well, Alan, this has been a pleasure. Like I said before, it was great catching up with you and meeting you for the first time. And this interview has gone really well. Looking forward to meeting you in person
Yeah,
soon and just continuing in the relationship.
absolutely. This has been good. Not nearly as scary as I thought it was going to be.
Thank God. Yeah.